From the historic cities of Lisbon and Porto to the tiny cobbled villages of the north, the vast wine region to the wild Atlantic coast, there is certainly no shortage of beautiful places in Portugal to capture travelers' imaginations. Number 1 is outrageous, so watch till the end to find out. Today I'm going to show you top 10 most beautiful places in Portugal. Before the video begins, please give it a like, and if you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments which country you want to see next. Number 10. Coimbra. The ancient city of Coimbra, home to one of Portugal's oldest institutions, Coimbra University, served as the country's medieval capital for over 200 years and birthed no fewer than 6 monarchs. Elegant, learned, and classically beautiful, it's more than worthy of a spot on your Portugal itinerary if your travels are taking you to the northern regions. Coimbra has a large student population and a colorful cafe and nightlife scene as a result. The historic university complex, which has been around in one form or another since the 1200s, adds to the heritage charm. Be sure to take a walk around the university's Jardim Botânico, one of the oldest and most important botanical gardens in the country. Number 9. Madeira. When it comes to natural beauty, there are few places in the world that rival Madeira. Portugal's 4-island archipelago is the star of the North Atlantic and a cornucopia of wild, ruggedly beautiful landscapes. The largest island, Madeira, offers visitors the chance to sample everything this remote part of Portugal is famed for in one convenient location. Starting at Funchal, wander the exquisite harbor gardens and sample local wines at the Madeira cellars. Circumnavigate the island, stopping to wander the narrow streets of the various fishing villages, soak in the lava pools in Porto Moniz, and spot whales and dolphins in the clear waters off the southern coast, best from April to October. Number 8. Cascais. A municipality within the district of Lisbon, Cascais is a coastal settlement comprising cute towns hemmed in by striking coastline of cliffs and sea arches. Spots like the Boca do Inferno bear a resemblance to the rugged formations around Lagos on southern Portugal's Algarve. Cascais was made popular in the 1870s when King Louis I of Portugal chose this spot as his summer retreat. The area still has a feel of old-world glamour and elegance about it, especially in the stunning palaces that dot the coastline. There are no fewer than 17 beaches in the area as well, some suitable for swimming. One of the most beautiful spots in Cascais is the City Hall Square, which is adorned with typical Portuguese black and white paving in a mind-bending pattern that emulates rolling waves. Interestingly, you can see the exact same design a world away in Macau, a former Portuguese colony. Number 7. Porto. Portugal's second largest city may at first seem to resemble Lisbon in many ways, particularly in the architecture, riverside profile, and hilly streets. A great alternative to the capital, Porto is a cultural beacon that shines just as bright and has just as much to offer visitors. One of the most beautiful sections of Porto is the riverside, where rows and rows of houses, bejeweled with azulejos tiles, sit pressed together. Get an overview of the city on a Rabelo boat trip before wandering the plazas and streets on foot, stopping off every now and then for a spot of fado music and a libation at one of the many port wine cellars. Number 6. The Douro Valley. Named for the mighty Douro River that cuts across the Iberian Peninsula, the Douro Valley has become one of the most coveted destinations in Europe for wine lovers in recent years. This exquisite landscape east of Porto, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, includes Barca de Alva, one of the oldest wine regions in the world. Grapes have been cultivated on these steep banks and billowy plains for centuries, and the area's viniculture heritage flavors everything, from the beautiful tiled railway station at Pinhal, which bears elaborate vine designs, to the old Rabelo boats, traditional vessels used for carrying wine from farms to the mouth of the river that still cut across the water. Wine tastings are available at dozens of cellar doors, and in Vila Nova de Gaia, you can visit the lodges where port wine is fortified. Number 5. Obidos. Located in central Portugal's Oeste region, Obidos is considered by many to be the country's finest example of a traditional Portuguese walled town. With a history that dates back to the Paleolithic times, Obidos has been shaped by centuries of Phoenician, Roman, and Moorish influence. As soon as you enter through the Porta de Vila, the tiled gateway to Obidos, you know you're in for a treat. The cobbled streets of the historic center rise and fall with the gently undulating hills the town is built atop, leading you through clusters of sweet whitewashed houses that huddle together under the shared slate roofs. Saw-tooth fortified walls loom in the background. Number 4. Estoi. Located inland from Faro and Portugal's Algarve coast, the tiny town of Estoi is a bit of a hidden gem. Its biggest attraction is the restored Palácio do Visconde de Estoi, a 19th century palace with a pretty pink Rococo facade. Not all that long ago, the palace was in tatters after lying abandoned for several decades. It was recently renovated and relaunched as a posada, a luxury historic hotel. The sprawling manicured gardens that surround the palace also received a facelift, and today, you can enjoy a stroll here beneath the palm trees, drinking in one of the most romantic buildings in Portugal in all her glory. Number 3. The Algarve. The Algarve is home to some of the most beautiful sandy beaches in Portugal, and what is surely the country's most dramatic beautiful stretch of coastline. From the charming streets of Old Town of Lagos to the cliffy Ponta da Piedade, with its natural sea arches and rock formations that frame picture-perfect Atlantic Ocean views. The Algarve may be popular, but there's a good reason for that. The beach region and its 4 major towns draw thick summer crowds, especially in July and August. For those looking to get away from the tourist hordes, there are some stunning secluded beaches to be found, as long as you're prepared to do some off-track walking. Number 2. Sintra. The charming town of Sintra is nestled in the pine-covered hills of the Serra de Sintra Mountains, west of Lisbon. This is where every tourist come to live out their fantasy of wandering through a fairy tale. The area is best known for its collection of castles, most notably the colorful Palacio Nacional de Peña Palace, and the more classical Quinta de Regaleria. One of the most distinct palaces anywhere in Europe, Peña especially can't be missed. Pretty as it is, there's a more serious history behind Sintra, including tales of how the nobility were forced to flee on the eve of the country's bloody revolution. The initiation well at the Quinta de Regaleria, a deep hole that resembles an inverted tower, has a dark side too. The design is said to reflect Dante's 9 circles of hell. Number 1. Lisbon. The capital city of Lisbon rightly tops just about every traveler's Portugal bucket list. One of the prettiest cities in Portugal and in the whole of Europe, Lisbon is a mosaic of winding streets, open plazas, stunning churches, and Miradouro lookouts waiting to be discovered. There's beauty around every corner in Lisbon, whether it's the slightly ramshackled kind of glamour you find in the historic Alfama, the paradisical beauty of the Tagus River, or the grand charm of landmarks such as the Tower of Belém, one of the oldest of Portugal's 17 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Despite welcoming more and more visitors every year, Lisbon remains an affordable destination. From browsing the racks of the oldest bookshop in the world for the perfect souvenir, to chowing down on pastéis de Belém, custard tarts, or bar hopping in the trendy Barrio Alto, there's never a dull moment when visiting this vibrant place. Thank you for watching, and please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and enable post alerts to view more of our future videos. After saying that, keep watching our videos, and I'll speak with you in the next one.